Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program. The Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program is a 30-minute radio intervention support program that is meant to provide continuous instruction to keep you academically engaged during this stay-at-home period, as well as preparing you, our 6th, 9th, and 12th graders for the pending Liberia Primary School Certificate Exam, Liberia Junior High School Certificate Exam, and West Africa Senior Secondary Certificate Exam when the time comes. Also, in addition to this academic support, the program is meant to provide psychosocial support for learners, teachers, and parents, and also tips on how you as parents and teachers can provide support to your students and children at home. Now, let's join our teacher for today's lesson.
Hello, students. Welcome to another Ministry of Education COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program. I'm your radio teacher, Pauline Tete. Before we begin our lesson for today, let us review what we learned and practiced in the last lesson. Boys and girls, can you remember what we studied in the last lesson? In the last lesson, we listened to a passage and answered questions about endangered animals. We practiced building our vocabulary by using prefixes on, re, and this to form new words. A prefix is a group of letters added to the beginning of a word to change its meaning. For example, re means to do again. The teacher will reteach this lesson. On means not. Dumping dirt in the river makes it unsafe. This means not. Do not disobey the instructions. Our reading lesson today is for grade 5 students. The topic of our reading lesson is waste dumping, waste ruins water. Waste dumping, waste ruins water. Please take your pencil, pen, and copybook and get ready for today's lesson. As you find your materials, let us listen to a message on COVID-19. Welcome back, everyone. Today's lesson will have 2 parts. In the first part, we will listen to a passage about how dumping waste can ruin water. We will read and write new words. We will write sentences using the new words. In the second half, we will explain the meaning of cause and effect and identify cause and effect relationship in sentences. Boys and girls, are you ready? Please listen as I read the passage. The title of the passage is Waste Dumping Waste Ruins Water. Can you think of waste that will ruin or pollute our water? To pollute means to poison or spoil. The passage. Waste dumping waste ruins water. There are ways we ruin the water we use. One way is when we dump waste. Other words for waste are trash or chemicals, garbage, or dirt. Many times we throw out our waste and do not think about the effects. We do not see the waste and so we think it is gone. But waste does not just disappear. It can affect the soil, and the water. When we get rid of waste badly, it can ruin our natural resources like the water we use. When we throw trash in the rivers or lakes, it does not disappear. It sinks or floats away, but it still exists. Fish can eat it. The fish can die. The fish can also spoil. When people eat spoiled fish, they get sick. When we throw trash in rivers or lakes, it also can poison the water. Trash can pour bad chemicals and taste into the water. Sometimes people dump chemicals in or near the water. If we drink the spoiled water, we can get sick. We might vomit or have runny stomach. If we bath with the spoiled water, we can get skin infections. Our skin itches or changes color. Everybody is at risk, but children are more at risk. It is very bad to go to urinate or go to the toilet in or near the water we drink. The waste from our body goes into the ground or soil. It sinks into the water in the ground. It goes into our wells, or it goes into the river. The water we use to drink and cook may make us sick. This makes many people very sick. It can give us running stomach. It can also put us in the hospital. This is one way cholera spreads. Children do this if they don't know better. We must teach children in our communities that this is a bad practice. Boys and girls, open your copybooks and write the title of our passage today. Do you remember the title of our passage? Okay, let us pause for an awareness message on COVID-19. When we return, we will continue our lesson.
Coronavirus spreads via droplets. When the person coughs or sneezes, the droplets land on surfaces and are picked up on the hands of others and spread further. People catch the virus when they touch their infected hands to their mouth, nose, or eyes. It follows that the single most important thing you can do to protect yourself is keep your hands clean by washing them frequently with soap and water or hand sanitizer.
Did you remember the title of our passage? Yes. The title of our passage is Waste Dumping Waste Ruins Water. And so we are going to listen to the passage again. As you listen this time, we want you to write down words that are new to you. Write down words that are new to you in your copy books. Waste, dumping waste, ruins water. There are ways we ruin the water we use. One way is when we dump waste. Other words for waste are trash, old chemicals, garbage, or dirt. Many times we throw out our waste and do not think about the effects. We do not see waste, and so we think it is gone. But waste does not just disappear. It can affect the soil and the water. When we get rid of waste badly, it can ruin our natural resources like the water we use. When we throw trash in rivers or lakes, it does not disappear. It sinks or floats away, but it still exists. Fish can eat it. The fish can spoil. The fish can die. When people eat spoiled fish, they get sick. When we throw trash in rivers or lakes, it also can poison the water. Trash can put bad chemicals and taste into the water. Sometimes people dump chemicals in or near the water. If we drink the spoiled water, we can get sick. We might vomit or have running stomach. If we bathe with the spoiled water, we can get skin infection. Our skin itches or changes colors. Everybody is at risk, but children are more at risk. It is very bad to go to urinate or go to the toilet in or near the water we drink. The waste from our body goes into the ground or soil. It sinks into the water in the ground. It goes into the wells, or it goes into the river water we use to drink and cook. This makes many people very sick. It can give us running stomach. It can also put us in the hospital. This is one way cholera spreads. Children do this if they do not know better. We must teach our children in our community that this is a bad practice. Very good. We have listened to our passage for the second time. Boys and girls, I know you have written different words. When we read or listen to a story or text, we need to know the words in the story to understand what we are reading. This helps improve our vocabulary skills. Improving our vocabulary skills will improve our understanding of stories or what we have read. Let us study some possible new words from the passage. Our first word is room. Can we say it together? Room. Can you say it? How do you spell the word room? The word room is spelled R-U-I-N. Remember, boys and girls, in our last lesson, we talked about synonyms and antonyms. Do you remember what synonyms are? Synonyms are words with the same or nearly the same meaning. We have just spelled the word room. What other words can we use to mean the same as room? Good, boys and girls. You may have said destroy, D-E-S-T-R-O-Y, or spoil, S-P-O-I-L, or damage, D-A-M-A-G-E. Throwing trash in the river ruins the water. Throwing trash in the river spoils the water. Throwing trash in the river destroys the water. Throwing trash in the river damages the water. Let us study our next word, waste. W-A-S-T-E. What other words can we use to mean the same as waste? Can you remember words from the passage? Now, let us hear some words. Trash, T-R-A-S-H, trash. Dirt, D-R-R-T, dirt. Garbage, G-A-R-B-A-G-E, garbage. Trash, dirt, and garbage are synonyms of waste. Do not throw dirt in the water. Do not throw waste in the water. Do not throw garbage in the water. Do not throw trash in the water. Our next word is effect. Can we say it together? Effect. Can you say it on your own? How do we spell the word effect? E-F-F-E-C-T. Effect. In our passage, we heard the sentence, many times we throw out our waste and do not think about the effects. What do you think effect mean? Did you say result or consequence? Perhaps you said outcome. Good, students. Result, consequence, and outcomes are all synonyms of the word effect. Effect is the result of a cause or action taken. Remember this word because we will refer to it again. Let us study another word. Our next word is effect. Can we say it together? Effect. Can you say it? How do we spell the word effect? A-F-F-E-C-T, effect. Let us hear an example from our passage. Waste in water does not just disappear. It affects the soil and the water. So what do you think affect mean? Did you say influence or change? Perhaps you said have an effect on something. Good, students. Influence or change are synonyms of the word effect. Boys and girls, do you notice that the words effect and effect are linked? Can you explain the connection? Effect is a verb and it means to cause something to change. Putting garbage into the river affects the water. Putting garbage into the river causes the water to change. Effect, on the other hand, is a noun and means result or consequences of a change. The effect of putting garbage into the river is bad. The result of putting garbage into the river is bad. Now, students, please write a sentence using effect. Your sentence should demonstrate the meaning of the word effect. As usual, please remember to start your sentence with a capital letter and end with an appropriate punctuation mark. Thank you, everyone. I'm sure your sentences are very good sentences. Now, students, please write a sentence using effect. Your sentence should demonstrate the meaning of the word effect. Remember again to begin with a capital letter and end with an appropriate punctuation mark. When our program is over, please read your sentences to someone in your family, but remember to observe social distancing. Well done. Here are some examples. coronavirus affects how we live. The effect of the virus is deadly. Let us pause for an awareness message on COVID-19. When we return, we will continue with the next part of our lesson.
Hello, students. My name is Mr. Sayo Mizim, a gospel artist that sang the song Jehovah Bless Me. He took me from nowhere to somewhere. Took me from nowhere to somewhere. Jehovah took me from nowhere to somewhere. You took me from nowhere to somewhere. Jehovah took me from nowhere to somewhere. Well, I've come to tell you about this coronavirus. Wash your hands as many times as possible with soap and water. Use tissue while coughing. Use tissue while sneezing. Remember, clean hands stop diseases. Let's keep learning while we are still at our very homes. Took me from nowhere to somewhere. Jehovah took me from nowhere to somewhere. You took me from nowhere to somewhere. Jehovah took me from nowhere to somewhere.
Welcome back to our lesson. Remember, the coronavirus is real. It is in Liberia. Follow the instructions from the Ministry of Health and stay safe. In this part of the lesson, we will practice identifying cause and effect in a sentence. Have you ever heard the phrase cause and effect before? If so, what does it mean? You possibly said cause and effect show how events are connected. The cause is the thing that makes something happen, while the effect is the thing that happens, the reaction, result, or consequence. Let us go over the explanation. Cause and effect show how events are connected. The cause is the thing that makes something happen, while the effect is the thing that happens, the reaction, result, or consequence. In other words, the reason why something happens is the cause, and what happens as the result is the effect. The cause comes first, and then the result or effect comes after. The cause leads to the effects. Here is an example. Alex did not study for the test, so he got a low grade. In this sentence, Alex did not study for the test is the cause. He got a low grade is the effect, the consequence or result of Alex not studying was failing the test. It is practice time. Listen as I read some sentences. Write the sentence in your copybook. Listen as I read some sentences and write the sentences in your copybooks. My sister's car had a flat tire, so she called a mechanic. My sister's car had a flat tire, so she called a mechanic. Yatta studied her spelling words and she got an A on the test. Yatta studied her spelling words and she got an A on the test. They put trash in the river. They got sick from drinking the water. They put trash in the river. They got sick from drinking the water. The baby was crying, so Dad picked him up. The baby was crying, so Dad picked him up. Now, boys and girls, in each sentence, circle the cause and underline the effect. Circle the cause and underline the effect. Well done, boys and girls. Let us review our answers. My sister's car had a flat tire, so she called a mechanic. Well done if you circled my sister's car had a flat tire and underlined, so she called a mechanic. In this sentence, the cause is the car had a flat tire and the result or effect was calling a mechanic. Let us continue with our next sentence. Yatta studied her spelling words and she got an A on the test. What is the cause? What is the effect? Great if you circled Yassa studied her spelling words and underlined she got an A on the test. In this sentence, the cause is Yassa studied her spelling word, and as a result of studying, she passed her test. Let us try another sentence. They put trash in the river. They got sick from drinking the water. What is the cause? What is the effect? You are correct if you circled they put trash in the river and you underline they got sick from drinking the water as the effect. The result of putting trash in the river was they got sick from drinking the water. So putting trash into the river was the cause and getting sick from drinking the water was the effect. Now here is our last practice sentence. The baby was crying, so Dad picked him up. What is the cause? What is the effect? Excellent. If you circled, the baby was crying and underlined, so Dad picked him up. In this sentence, the cause is the baby was crying. And what happened as the result of the baby crying? As the result, Dad picked the baby up. Well done, boys and girls. This brings us to an end of our lesson for today. In this lesson, we listen to a passage, waste dumping waste ruins water. And we studied some key words in the passage by spelling, identifying synonyms, and using these words in sentences. We also defined the expression cause and effect and practice identifying cause and effect in sentences. Vocabulary is one of the skills in reading comprehension. Knowing the words in a text helps us to understand a text. Knowing synonyms helps us to build our vocabulary, which is important for understanding a text. In a story or text, there are events. Some events lead to others. Identifying the relationship between events will help us understand what is happening and why they are happening. While we are at home awaiting our next lesson, please practice spelling the new words, using them in sentences of your own. We also encourage you to write a story using the words cause and effect. Do not forget to read to someone in your family. It could be an older or a younger person. Thank you for listening. I have been your radio teacher. If you have any questions or need clarification on today's lesson, please text it to the following number: 0555-882930. The number again, 0555-892930.